Good morning. It's Monday, May 1st, 2023. My name is Terry Morgan. We are here to practice Wudang Dragon Sword. We have movement number 6 in form this morning. White Dragon shows the tips of its claws. I put it up. If you got a better translation, I'm happy to entertain that. The extension of the movement comes from what we've just been doing. So we're going to review a little bit, and we're going to pay attention to leg work, because one of the things that I personally have been working on is my placement for this low move that we've just been doing, that we're going to come out of to move into the next set. All right, let's get started. Feet about shoulder width apart. Stand straight. Pull up through the crown of the head. Open the arms, wiggle the fingers, wiggle the toes, bend the knees. Pull up through the center, open the hips, hands circle to the front, and back around to both sides. Up along the center line. And reach up, stretch out, keep the shoulders down, keep the arms open, bend the knees, roll up. And no, I'm not moving slowly this morning. Reach out. And roll up one more time. Elbows drop down, wrists, fingertips, hands return to your sides. Okay, so as we practice, right foot front. Yeah, I'm going to talk while we're practicing here. Sink into this, and we're just going to stay there. Set. All right. Knee over here as close to parallel to the ground as possible. Okay, just flat. Okay, this one, the knee is bent. It's not back out here. It's bent here, so that the hip can go up and down in between the legs. Okay, stay there. Set. This is 6-4. Set. Stay there. Alright, so as we are practicing, one of the things that I have talked about, and I'm going to call out again, sink more, is the idea that there are things that we will do in practice. Sink just a little bit more and come on up. It takes a little bit to stay there. Yes, it does. Alright, open the back leg. Parallel, or as close as you can get. Keep the knee open back here so that you can set in between the legs. Sink, stay there. Alright. As we practice, the effort to practice, the effort to pay attention, I'm paying a lot of attention to this back leg right now. Alright, and sink just a little bit more and come on up. Alright, that effort. What am I paying attention to? What am I working on? What am I trying to do? Okay. I thought about, and I'm going to say this because here I am. I thought about what I was wearing for class today. I did. I thought about it. And I decided, here I am, this is it. That idea is something that has been part of my training and part of my practice pretty much forever. Right? I did not, at one point I did, and I understand the school protocols. I had a school at one point. And that idea that, here's a school and we do what we do in a school. Most of my training wasn't in a school. One. It was in a park. At 6 o'clock in the morning. Oh yeah. And no, 7 was late. We started at 6:20. The idea that we need to get dressed up to go to practice, yeah, no, not really. We don't. And as I practiced on my own, I'm going to get dressed up for what? Myself? Yeah. When I started these classes, I had to think about that because, well, here I am, I'm presenting, and whatever it is I'm wearing is what I'm wearing. That decision that, no, I'm not going to put on my silks for these classes, is something that I thought about, I paid attention to, and I made that decision because practice and performance are different. They are fundamentally not the same thing. They will never be the same thing. People practice on their own for years. Never give a performance, never get up on stage, never get out in front of a bunch of people. They practice because they like to practice. They enjoy what they're doing. That was part of my early training, that we're here because we like to do what we're doing. And we're wearing whatever we're wearing. We're not, it's summertime, it's wintertime, it's whatever the season of the year is. I was traveling every time I showed up for practice, I was living out of suitcase. So I had whatever I had. I wasn't trying to be formal. That sense of being comfortable when we practice is something that we want to carry through all of the movements. If I'm struggling with this move, I don't know what do I do? Right? I'm struggling with the move. It shows. It shows. If I have practiced something over and over and over again, so that I don't even have to think about it, it just comes naturally, that skill shows. If there's no, I'm going to say this and we're going to get started. There is no special thing. There's skill that needs to be learned. There are things that need to be paid attention to. But at the end of the day, the skill of the person depends on the person practicing. There is no other. That's it. All right. Yeah. How we practice, what we're doing, all of those things matter. But at doing nothing, do nothing, okay? And there are times when we want to do nothing, okay? It's not necessarily a bad thing. The idea that I'm going to do nothing, I'm not going to practice, I'm not going to do whatever it is, you can't make any progress there. You have to do something. What are you doing? How do you do it? Does it feel like something you want to keep doing? Because if it doesn't, you won't. It's human nature, right? So when I started learning sword, very first, I liked the idea that straight sword was one of, traditionally, the harder weapons to learn. It takes a little more finesse than straight staff or short staff. It's got the two blades, two sides to it. Okay, so broadsword, yeah, we're going one way, and there's double broadswords that go both ways. I get both on both sides, and if I had two swords, I'd have four sides. All right, that sense of what do I like, and then as I keep doing this, right, I'm warming up my hand, I'm warming up my wrist. That sense of what do I like, what am I going to keep working on, is something that will carry your practice for as long as you decide you want to keep it. If you don't like it, you won't do it. I know I've said that a couple of times. It's fundamentally true. Okay. We were, I'm going to go slow, okay, so we were here, right, come around, and down, up, step, in, and up. Next step. White dragon shows the tips of its claws. Alright, it's dragon sword, right? There's a lot of different dragons, right? Red dragon, green dragon, white dragon, yellow dragon, or gold dragon. So, from here to the outside, step back, keep going, come around, up, around, and up, straight down, as you step, then out, and you're on one leg when we're on one leg when we do this, okay? So, leg work that we've been doing, this is one of the places that we're going to use that, all right? So, I'm here. Step in, up. And this should be straight here. So the edges are up and down. As I step out, here, this goes up. Yeah, we're going to go up again. We're going to go up more. There's a jump that is coming up next. Not this week. Next week, probably. All right? And we may do some leg work to prepare for that. The dynamic in Dragon Sword, and we're going to go back through this in a minute. The dynamic in Dragon Sword is dragon. Wudang. It's not Tai Chi sword. It's not. And that distinction should be part of how the movement is done. Okay, so Tai Chi sword, we want this nice, smooth, here we go, right? We do. Wudang Tai Chi sword, I'm here, come around, right? I can do several things with Wudang Tai Chi sword that I don't really want to do in Dragon Sword. And I do some things in Dragon Sword I don't really want to do in Wudang Tai Chi sword. Okay? Those differences, Dragon Sword, right, have bearing on both how the movement is done and the intent behind the movement. So, Tai Chi sword, smooth, continuous, complete. This is Tai Chi movement. Tai Chi sword should have that same quality. Dragon sword, quick, bright, sharp, and continuous. It's internal art, so we're not trying to use only physical force. That internal work that comes through the waist and the lower dandy, which I haven't really talked about, has to be there. And I will talk about that probably a little bit more tomorrow. All right. I'm going to go this way. We have just completed here as I come around, 1, 2, to the outside and down, up, around, up. Step up, down, in, down, in. Right? Again. Ready, and 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, step, in, up. As you come up, okay, so, in here, right here, keep energy, we do this and we're going to stop and do this, keep energy in this foot and keep this foot close to your other leg. Don't hook your foot behind your knee. No, don't do that. Keep it here. Right? But close to the leg. Because as you extend out, you also have to go down. That extension out. If I am not well rooted, if I don't have a good solid stance, when I'm going to fall over. That's what will happen. So why were we practicing those one-legged stances? For this, let's do that one time. Excuse me. Let's do that series. Okay? Feet about shoulder width apart. And hands wherever you'd like to put them. Someplace out of the way. I'm going to go to my left side first. You go to your right. Bring the knee up. Keep the toes in. And go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Put it down. It was to the outside, other leg to the outside, and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Put it down to the inside. 1, up, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And to the inside. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Put it down. All right. So notice to the inside on both sides, both legs. The first set, I put my foot down. After that, I didn't. What happened? I found that line. That's what we're looking for right here. That same line, all right? Back. Ready? To the outside, to the left. Go 1, 2, down. Keep going to the outside and down, around, up, step, in, up. Again. Back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Be careful that when you step out here, you don't step too far. We need to be able to transfer the weight and go to a jump in a minute. All right, so as we're moving, paying attention to, and again, I stressed this last week, as we're working on this set here, right? Look where my foot is now. I've been trying, I've been working on it, right? So instead of stepping back here, I can't go down here. It don't work. My leg's not that long, right? I just can't. It doesn't work. Here, now I can, right? I'm still not there not this morning anyway, but that change that change. Gives me where I need to be to start to set lower. Now, can I go all the way down if I use both legs? Yes. I need to be able to use one leg. And I need to be turned a little bit more, and I need to be a little more back on my behind my heel. Couple more things to do on that movement to get to the point that I'm correctly aligned and placed so that as I develop the strength, I can go all the way up and down, right? I should be able to do that. I used to be able to do that. That's what we're doing now. That's why we're doing this. All right, so as we're practicing, the sense that I'm gonna show this. We do this one time, and then I'm gonna show something here. All right, let's go to the back. 1, come around. 1, 2, keep coming. Go up, forward, out, up. Okay. The skill that we gain through practice isn't rote skill, it's intrinsic skill. It becomes part of how our body functions, how the body works. We're improving, we're increasing all sorts of capabilities. Now, first set, I'm gonna use this set. First time through, and close to what I've been doing this morning. Okay. Fairly static, and I'm going to restrict my movements. What I want you to pay attention to is that restricted movement. Pay attention what that looks like. Okay, little mistake there, but point is, it seems stiff. It was my intention that it should feel, you look at it and it's like, yeah, I don't want to watch that. It's stiff. It's tight. It's coordinated, but it's not, because I have a really hard time not coordinating stuff most of the time anymore. All right, but that sense that, nah, that wasn't it, all right? Second one. Little more, not so tight, a little more fluid, little more of that dragon. I want to do this here. I do. It's not. It's here. Then here. All right. That recognition. I talk about this all the time. We're going to do it again. That recognition. Wait. Oh, something here. Wait a minute. As I was reviewing this series, right? Paying attention. Where? Wait a minute. Where was that? Oh, yeah, that was it. That sense of, I remember this from the time I learned it, and I remember muscle memory. I remember what I practiced. Even if I can't consciously, that left brain linear, that's not telling me anything, but the right brain that says, hey, remember when you were back? Oh yeah, I remember that, let's do that. All right, here. Oh, that, yeah. All right, that sense is something that we want to cultivate, no matter where you are, no matter what you're doing, as you are learning. Being present, really being present, at that time, in that place, while you are learning, so that 100% focused on what we're doing here right now, is part of what will carry all of your practice. It's how we remember things. To the back, 1, come around, and down. Come up, 1, 2, down, in, up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I'm going up, yes, it does go up. There's a jump that comes after this, and we do go up. That leg work I talked about leg work, I did. All right, 2 more times from the other side, and then I'm going to turn around and go through this, just a series slowly. I'm going to have to back up, but we're going to go through the series real slow anyway, all right? So, I'm here, to the back, to the outside, keep going to the outside, down, up, step up, in, up, again, back, 1, 2, keep going, down, around, up, now I'm checking to see where I can be here. All right, to the back, come around, keep going, step in, and I don't have enough room to step through, okay? The hazards of being in a smaller space, all right? So what I talked about at the very beginning, this, let's go to the park and practice, right? There's no ceiling. We didn't have to worry about if we're going to go up, we just go up. There's no ceiling in the park. We did have to pay attention to other people coming through. We did have, there was some of that. We did have to pay attention to a number of other things, being outside, one of them, that opportunity to be outside, to learn in an unrestricted, I go this way too far, I'm going to hit the bookcase. If I'm outside, I can find a space where I'm not going to hit anything. It's open. That opportunity is something, and I would encourage anybody who's learning sword, anybody's learning sword from me, and you're learning any kind of weapon, it doesn't matter. Go outside and practice. Seriously, go outside and practice. As you are able to do that, okay, again, just, nice, quiet space someplace where people aren't going to think you're weird. Got a sword. It's okay. It's not sharp. It's just a sword. That practice in an open space lets you understand the full extent of what you might have, what you might be able to do. every time I extend here in the living room, here, I'm in the living room, I was in the smaller room the other day. So every time I come around here, I'm looking for whether I'm going to hit the fan or not. I'm going to get right up there. I don't have to worry about that if I'm outside, right? The same thing as we come around and we come up and we're getting ready to jump. All of the movements, as we are able to extend them, seriously, take it outside. Flat area, ideally dirt or grass. Sand is a little tough, not gravel. No gravel. No gravel. Don't practice on gravel. Concrete is okay, but you have to be aware that concrete is concrete. You will break before it does. You will. Alright, so dirt is softer. Grass is okay. Both dirt and grass are relatively soft compared to concrete. And gravel is just nasty. Don't practice on gravel. Okay? And if it's a gravelly area, don't practice there. Alright? That understanding of what surface you're on is also something I've talked about quite a bit. It matters a bit more if you're going to be outside where you have a surface that you are not 100% in control of. I can be in control of what's under my feet here. I got a carpet. I got tile floor, right? I got wood floor. What am I practicing on? I'm in an interior room, I can control that. If I'm outside, and no, I have to pay attention to what I'm on. Alright, and that makes a difference, just so it's clear, that makes a difference for applications too. Alright, hey, one more time here. To the back. Come around, down, keep going. Set, up, in, and up. Use the waist, use the wrist. This, as I come around here to the outside, keep going. Right? The outside, down, up, around, and up again. Okay? The first slice doesn't come as high as the second one. Okay? I'm going to talk a little bit more about that tomorrow. We'll work on that a little bit more. And we'll work a little bit more on the legs. I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much.